Kento Marek would be born in the Jedi Order and would serve into the Clone Wars, but things would take a turn when he fell in love with a woman named Millie, who was also a Jedi Knight, and they would flee to Kashyyyk and raise a son named Galen. But after Millie passed away, Kento Marek would be forced to raise Galen all alone. But after the rise of the Empire in Order 66, Kento Marek would be tracked down by Darth Vader, and the Wookiees would do their best to defend Kento Marek, but it would lead to a duel between the two, and he would lose and would die, and Vader would raise Galen into a Sith apprentice. But after Galen was betrayed, Galen would go to the Jedi Temple and rediscover who his father was, and he'd become accepting towards himself and who his father was and his legacy, as Galen became a Jedi to fight Darth Vader and the Emperor and start a rebellion. And that is the story of Kento Marek. Voolif Monn was a Jedi general who served the Clone Wars and was present at the Battle of Geonosis and the Battle of Modest, but we've already discussed his story. But we might as well talk about that he was actually a Jedi who was for a contest who would appear in the Clone Wars micro-series, and that person, whoever voted, got to have this Jedi show up in the show, and he only made an appearance in this show, but we don't know what happened. We don't know if he survived Order 66. I would hope so. It'd be cool if he showed up in the new canon, but we might as well discuss their Force abilities, lightsaber combat, and discuss who I think would win. Okay, so for Kento Marek's Force abilities, he seems to have a good amount since he was able to knock down 2 troopers, and if you play the Wii or PS2 version of the Force Unleashed, he's able to use Force, this giant wave of the Force towards Vader, and it takes him off guard for a bit, but his usage of the Force ain't that powerful when he's fighting Vader, as Vader used that to his advantage, and he was able to easily defeat Kento Marek. But as for Wolfman Monn, since he's only been in 2 episodes, his Force abilities, he was able to take out groups of droids. He seemed to be more known with lightsaber combat, which is what I like to get into. For Kento Marek, because he's able to fight Vader, he seems to be a good stylist. And you do fight him when you go to the Jedi Temple as Galen Marek. Even though that's a vision, he seems to have a good amount of lightsaber combat. But like I said, Vader was able to defeat him, and so he seems to be a decent fighter. As for Wolfman Monn, he was able to take out droids with his lightsaber, but it wasn't enough when he was fighting a group of spider droids, and that's where Anakin came in and destroyed the droids. But the two seem to be decent fighters, but if this was a fight, it would probably take place on Kashyyyk. And I gotta be honest, I think Kento Marek would win the fight, because I feel he's somewhat of a stronger fighter since he was able to fight Vader and Wolfman Monn. I just feel we don't know enough about him, but it says he's a Jedi Master, so I think this fight would be decent. It would be fair, but I could be wrong, even though this is my opinion. But anyway, I declare Kento Marek the winner of this versus. So I don't know what the next verses will be, but I hope you enjoyed this one. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you always.